This video is all about working on OnShape practice part number 7, where we introduce some ideas. We're going to bring back the idea of the the offset plane. We're going to talk about the loft tool, and to make our job easier, at least for this object, talk about the mirror tool. So let's talk about the offset plane first of all. So the offset plane is really nice because I can create a plane to sketch on that's not my front, my right, and my top. So I can figure out how far away I want it to be in any of those directions to make that happen. So I'm just going to mess around with some shapes. I'm not going to do the practice part quite yet. I'm going to get rid of the top, so I'm going to hide it so I don't have to look at it. I'm going to hide the front. And let's just, I don't know, let's just click on the right plane. Let's make a circle, something like that. So I'm going to hit sketch, and I'm going to go up to my circle tool. There we go. Boom, a circle. Very nice. So now to create my offset plane, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that right plane, and if I go up here to plane, and if I make sure that offset is selected, notice that I'm creating a plane to sketch on that is parallel but away from the plane that I selected. So I can say, hey, maybe I want that to be like 2 inches away. And maybe let's just go with that. Let's go 2 inches away, and I can sketch stuff on this plane however I want. So let's do that. I'm going to click on the plane that we just created. I'm going to click on sketch, and maybe I'll go to the right view so I can see what's going on. And let's do, I don't know, what's going to look weird. Let's just do a rectangle. We might as well. I'm going to do a center rectangle. Just make my life a little bit easier. I don't know, something like that. And I'm going to say, cool beans, our sketch is good to go. And there's my isometric view. So that's our offset plane. Now what we can do is create what we call a loft. And a loft is this tool right here, where we are essentially having the program take the sketch that we've created, and it will automatically connect it three-dimensionally to another shape on a different sketch. And this absolutely blows my mind. So we're going to go here. I clicked on loft. I'm going to click here. Go away. And I'm going to click on the next face, and I'm going to click that check mark, and notice it already gives me a little preview. Look at this thing. It automatically creates this object that connects a circle to a square. That's crazy. That thing blows my mind. And so we're going to try to use that principle in part number 7. So I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to select all these things. I'm just going to get rid of them. And let's start with kind of a fresh slate. Okay, so now I'm looking at my part, and let's think about this. Doing our extrude and our extrude remove, there's a lot of funky angles going on. I don't know if it's gonna be easy to just like cut straight back into things. So what I'm feeling is I'm going to create a three-dimensional object that's like the weird trapezoidal thing on the left side, and I'm going to create a loft to that bottom part. So here's what I mean. Let's get rid of the top and the front view again, just so I have to do with the right view. I'm going to click on, oh no, I messed up, excuse me. Let's bring that top view back. That's actually kind of what I want. Let's get rid of our front view because we don't need that. And for right now, let's get rid of our right plane because we're not going to mess with that. And let's look at it from the top. So I'm basically going to draw the little trapezoid and make that chunk and roll from there. So I'm going to click on my top plane. I'm going to click on sketch. And let's just start building that shape. So I'm going to start in the center point right there. So I've got my little trapezoid. It's going to go something like this. And then let's go ahead and dimension it. I believe these are 0.25 inches each. So if I count it out, that's what? 3 boxes. So 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. Oh boy, that's going to shrink hard. Let's see. The side over there is 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that. So that's 1 inch. And then we just have 1 box on the bottom, which is going to be 0.25. And then my slope should automatically work out for us. All right, let's say this sketch is good to go. I'm going to switch back to ISO view so I can see this in 3 dimensions. And then let's just extrude this thing out. So at least we have a big surface that we can mess around with. So it looks like when I go to extrude, I'm going to click on my object and go to extrude, and it's going to go down, how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Oh goodness, what is that? 1.25 inches And we're actually kind of close, 1.25. Sweet. Okay, not too shabby. Let's hit check mark and say we're good to go. So I've just made that left side of the object. Now we need a way to kind of connect a slant down to that middle bit. And this is where it gets a little bit dicey. I'm going to bring back my right plane. I want to see kind of where that thing's chilling. Okay, so my right plane is flush with this surface right here, which is actually kind of lucky. So I'm going to create an offset plane right where the valley happens in the object. So let me count what it is from the edge to kind of where that dip actually happens. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So I need to make my offset plane 1.25 inches away from that right plane. So I'm going to type in 1.25. I'm going to go to front view just to make sure it looks good. Cool, that looks pretty solid. And I'm going to click that checkbox and say, all right, we're good to go. So let's start sketching on this plane. So now I'm creating a two-dimensional sketch over on this side. So if we go to the right side, let's kind of sketch this thing out. We have to think about this a little differently. So I want to make like a two-dimensional shape that's going to give me that nice little divot. So if I imagine sawing my object in half, what I end up having, if I click on sketch, I'm going to kind of sketch that out. And I'm going to use kind of the background of the thing that we already made to help me out. So let's see. I'm going to start at our origin right there. And I'm going to go up. Oh boy, this is going to be hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes total. And it looks like it doesn't go all the way up to the top. It only goes about 3 boxes up. So what is that? 0.75? We'll deal with that in a sec. And then we're going to go over here like so. And then kind of connect that weird trapezoid looking thing. Okay. So that was actually pretty close. 0.75 is what we're looking at here. I know the depth of that is 1 inch, so that should kick me back to the corner piece. And then this side is only 1 box. That one's actually pretty close too, so 0.25. Okay. So here is where the magic happens. I'm going to go back to my ISO view, and I'm going to use my loft tool. I want to connect this guy to have that nice little divot happening. So I'm going to go to my loft. I'm going to click on this profile right here and the sketch that I just made, and it should connect that as one piece. Oh, sweet. There we go. Yeah, so we've got that middle piece. I'm going to say, cool, that's okay. Amazing. Now, I could definitely make another offset plane and kind of do the opposites going this way, but I'm going to show you a sneaky little trick called the mirror tool. So I'm going to swing up to mirror right there, and essentially what this does is it reflects something that you've already created across a plane or a line. So the first thing it's really telling me to do is the entities to mirror. So I'm going to click on that shape that I just created, and it's going to tell me to select the mirror plane, and I want it to reflect on the other side of plane number 1. Oops, I should probably select that. Mirror plane, plane number 1, and so it automatically brings that over to the other side, which is amazing, and I can hide those planes if I want to. So there is our object in all of its glory. I can zoom in. So now I can do mask properties. I can change the material, and I can roll from there. So think about how can you use the loft tool, the offset plane tool, and the mirror tool to make your job easier as we get to more and more difficult problems.